Good evening. Welcome. Okay, so we have new microphones, and so Mom was turning hers on.
And I'm doing a test.
And I'm going to attach mine. And so hopefully this will take care of some of the sound issues that we were having. I can hear it in the headphones over there.
Can you hear me in the headphones?
Well, we're going to do a sound check. We're trying to fix our sound problems. Can you hear us?
Testing 1, 2, 3. No. All right. Make sure it's on.
Yeah, you're on.
Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hang in with us. We're testing.
All right.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
But you can hear me.
What?
You can hear me?
I can't hear either of you.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Well,
hang on.
I can hear me better than I can hear either of you.
It's showing green. Is the volume up? Yeah, it helps if
I turned it down because I don't.
All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Testing
1, 2, 3.
Hold on.
No, I heard that. I can hear it.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I can hear you. You just have to turn the volume up.
Okay. All right. Technology is always a challenge.
Yep. Okay.
But we're here. Yay.
Okay. Yeah, you have to turn the volume up.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll hear it in the headphones.
Yeah, we're going to hear a little bit
but
of feedback, but
it's not even feedback. It's
just the delay.
Just on the
yeah. So as long as y'all can hear us, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
So good evening.
Good evening. Yeah. Sorry. Welcome. But now that we know that they work, we won't do this again, probably. And also, Molly is not with us tonight, which is why we're going over and checking on the laptop, because she's not here to provide feedback.
Right.
So,
right.
So when Molly's not here, Mom and I tag team on the comments, and so we will do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, hi, welcome. I'm Jen.
I'm Marcia.
And you're here for the TFAR Reasons Facebook Live Cherries Jubilee.
Cherries Jubilee, one of my favorites. This is going to be great.
Yes, and we're glad to be back. We missed you last month when we didn't do one.
Yeah, we were out for it's been a couple of months.
It's been April was the last one that we did. So so welcome. Pardon me while I cough. I'm still.
She caught a cold on vacation.
Yeah, I had a cold on my vacation, and I have a lingering cough, especially at night.
Yeah,
so that stinks. But we're gonna power through, and it's gonna be great.
And I'm back in glasses again.
Oh,
Yay.
That's right. Oh,
yes.
Yeah, we never had a chance to talk about it.
Yeah, you
They
like?
look good, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I do like. Anyway,
you can tell me what you think, because I, it's always an adjustment, and and I actually had to put some little pads on to raise them up. Still having issues, but it's a lot better than the way it was.
Well, that's good,
Yeah.
and they look good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome, and just a reminder, and I posted in the comments the website and my email. The website is tforallreasons.com. My email is info@tforallreasons.com. And you're at the T for All Reasons page.
Right.
But there is also a group on Facebook. It's a private group. You have to answer some questions to get into the group, just to make sure that you're a legit person or entity. because we've had some tea rooms join, like professional pages or whatever have joined, and some other entities, not individuals, join the group.
Okay.
So welcome.
And the great thing about being in the group is it's safe. It's a safe place where everybody is, kind of on the same page as far as loving tea and encouraging each other about tea and posting. Some of the pictures that you all post are beautiful, table settings that you've done or collections that you have. And so it's just a great group to be a part of.
I realized when I cough, so there's a mute button on the mic. I need to do the mute because me just covering up with my elbow
it's not going to do it.
Going to make the cough even louder in the microphone. And I apologize for amplifying my cough just a second ago. I apologize. So I'll try to remember when I need to cough to mute myself. Anyways, so I apologize for that. And I do need to cough after all of that. So hold on a second. Let me see if I can do this. Does it go up? Flashing? It's so bad. Stupid cough. Okay. All right. So websites, Facebook group, email addresses. Okay. Independence Day blend is back in the shop. I added it back to the shop.
And it's fabulous.
Towards the end of May.
That was the one I was thinking about ordering for myself.
Yeah.
Because it's a limited edition.
Yep. It's only out in July.
Yeah.
And so if that's one that you like, then you need to pick that up now.
And remind everybody again of the flavoring.
It's a black tea with boysenberry, a hint of raspberry, and I actually tweaked it this year and added blueberry.
Nice. And didn't it have almond as well?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I think.
No, it's not Uncle Sam's Sneeze.
It's not Uncle Sam's Sneeze. Okay.
It's a
different blend. Okay.
I keep telling you, it's not Uncle Sam's Sneeze.
Okay. I thought maybe you just renamed it.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I keep her tea proprietary for her.
Okay.
Yeah, that's hers.
Boysenberry, though, that's interesting.
Yeah, boysenberry.
Nice.
And blueberry.
Very good.
Anyway, so that's in the shop for July only, at the end of July, August 1st.
And it has sprinkles in it.
It has red, white, and blue stars.
Great for July 4th.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's a great iced tea, too.
It's a great tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I serve it on the 4th.
You do.
As an iced tea. As an iced tea. Yep. Okay, here's the unhappy, or it's the less pleasant announcement. So in the group, I gave a heads up that I need to raise prices. And it pains me when I have to do this. The last time I did it was 2 years ago. And I have tried to hold prices steady, but
it's rough out there.
My costs have increased, and I have I'm actually losing money on some teas. And so I've spent the last several weeks going through my calculation, like really updating my cost sheet to determine how much these teas actually cost in order for me to know how to price. And so not all of them are getting increased. There are actually several where the base price is going to decrease a little bit, but some of them are going up pretty significantly because I've been eating those costs. Yeah. So
and when you hear about the economy, you very often hear about wholesale pricing. Well, this directly affects the price of what Jen does because she's at the mercy of the wholesalers, and she has no control over wholesale pricing. And so a lot of things are based upon what the wholesale price is to her.
Right. Yeah. My costs.
Her costs.
And I actually was shocked. So I've not been good at keeping up on managing the costs of the teas. I've just been
kind of rolling
with it. And when I started updating my spreadsheet, I realized that I have actually been losing money on several teas.
Wow.
So
we love you, but there's
if I want to keep the business going, I have to raise prices. So it's not that I'm not making it's not that I'm making a smaller profit. I was actually losing money.
Yeah.
So some of them are you're gonna have some sticker shock on some of them. In particular, herbals I've noticed seem to be higher than some others. So thank you very much. Independence Day is the tea that I just added back to the shop. Anyway, that was a question and non sequitur, but sequitur.
Thank you, hubby.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Anyway, all of that to say, I have already started updating pricing on the website for some of the teas. It's going to take a long time for me to get it done. My target is to have everything up to date by July 1st. So when you go to the shop, I'm no longer doing flat pricing. So what I inherited from Mom, she had flat rates, two different price points, but in looking at my costs, that I can't do that anymore. It's the disparity on some of the particular teas that I sell as they are, or are an ingredient in a blend that I make. The disparity doesn't work out that way. So some of the ones that are increasing, it's going to be that tea's particular price point. Yeah. I'd have to do it that way now. So,
but it's not just Tea for All Reasons teas. I mean, if you look at other retail establishments and even tea rooms are increasing.
Yeah.
And it's a very sad thing to say, but it's just what is happening these days.
Yeah, I hate to do it, but it's past time for me to do it. And so with that said, you'll see changes over the next few weeks as I update those prices. Right. And like I said, some are decreasing. In particular, the 2-ounce bags are decreasing. The 3-ounce tin and the 4-ounce, 8-ounce, those might not decrease, but the 2-ounce bag, very often is decreasing.
Okay. That's awesome.
Where I can.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's the less pleasant news, but I did want to give you guys that heads up. And maybe we should post it on the page or not. I mean,
well, that's up to you on the timing of it. Yeah.
But like I said, the target is to have all the pricing up to date and done by July 1st.
Okay.
And that includes wholesale. If you buy wholesale from me, I emailed vendors who buy direct from me. The wholesale is flat. I realized it was easier for me to keep that at a flat rate, how I sell wholesale to tea rooms and other retailers or whatever. But and then if you're on Fair, like if you buy from me on Fair, you'll start seeing those price increases added there as well. Again, target July 1st.
Okay.
To have that up to date. So anyway, so now we'll go to the more pleasant, awesome part of the live.
I know a lot of you have been in suspense about what we were going to demonstrate tonight, and what we're going to do is cherry clafouti. Clafouti. And if you're wondering, it's clafouti.
Yep.
And so I'm going to demonstrate how to make clafouti, and so we'll move over here.
Yeah, and I'll be in the comments. I'll let you move first.
Okay. This is a This is a French this is a French dish, and there are a lot of variations, just slight variations. But it is really basically a basic recipe. And I think that Julia Child kind of made it popular when she had her cooking show. But, so I'm doing cherry clafouti, and this is as I said, this is the classic. It is a creamy custard-like dish, and it uses the sweet cherries, not the sour cherries. It uses the sweet cherries, and the real recipe calls for them to be unpitted. And that is to help the pits actually add to the flavor. They add a more almond flavor to the custard. But I don't know about you, but I don't want to deal with pits in my cherries when I'm trying to eat this delicious dish. So we did pit the cherries. And so that's the first thing I want to demonstrate to you is about pitting cherries. And Jen mentioned to me this morning, I had not known this, but she mentioned to me this morning that she had a cherry pitter. And I said, well, I've got a cherry pitter. This is the one that I've always used. It's a single pitter. I don't know if you all are familiar with this tool, but you put the cherry in there and you press down. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to do it in this other one. You press down on and the pit comes down at the bottom. Well, you're doing a single cherry at a time, and if you're doing a cherry pie or something, it can take a long time, especially with the sour cherries, which are smaller. Well, as I said, we're using sweet cherries, and they tend to be larger. And this cherry pitter is the one Jen brought, and it does 6 at a time. This was like music to my ears because, and we did test it with some smaller cherries, and it works just as well. So you put your cherries in there, and you put this over, and then you press down, and that's it. And the pits go to the bottom, just like that. Now, they may stay on there, which is not a big deal. But isn't that awesome? And she's gifted that to me. Because she knows that I do a lot of cherries. So anyway, so the first thing you do with this cherry clafouti is prepare your dish. And this is for quiche. It's about a 10-inch. I think it's a 9.5 or 10-inch quiche dish. You don't want to use one of the removable bottom ones because the custard will leak through. So you want to make sure that it is a dish like this. It can be metal, just not a removable bottom like I have demonstrated before. And you want to butter it really generously, especially in all of the scalloped edging inside. Butter it really well, and then put your cherries in, which I've already done. They're all pitted, and they're all in there. If you don't have that many, that's okay. Just a really generous portion of cherries. Okay, now, the next part of this is just super easy. We're going to use a blender, and that's what all the recipes call for, is using a blender, because you're going to get this custard mixture incorporated really well. So the first thing we're going to do is put in 3 eggs, and there are 3 large eggs. And then a cup of half and half. And I think they also say you can use part whole milk, part whipping cream, but I had half and half, so I'm using that. And then we're going to add a half a cup of sugar, granulated sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a half a cup of regular unbleached flour. I probably should have put this in first. This is a 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and a 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. So that's giving you that little bit of almond flavor. Okay, now we're going to put this in the blender and blend it till smooth. So excuse the noise. Now I'm going to stop it and just make sure that all the flour is incorporated in there. and do it for a little bit more. Okay. And now you just pour it right over the cherries. And again, when this is baked, it's not going to be like a cake, and it's not like a traditional egg custard because it does have the flour in there, but it is still custardy. You can either spoon it out or you can slice it. You want to wait until it's just a little bit warm before you slice it, or you can spoon it. Yeah, it's going to go in that oven out there. And then what you do is sprinkle a couple of tablespoons of granulated sugar. And I think you can skip this part if you don't want to put all the sugar on there. And I think that's probably going to be good. And then it goes into the oven. And then when it's out of the oven, then you're going to sprinkle it with almonds and dust it with confectioner's sugar. So we're going to put it in a 350-degree oven, and it's going to be in there for about 40 minutes. Okay, now, if it looks like the edges are starting to get a little bit brown, let's say at the 35-minute point or even the 30-minute point, you can put a piece of foil over the top, just rest it on top, and that's going to keep it from getting a little bit too brown. When I did my test bake on this, I used this exact recipe, and it was in that other oven, and I left it in for the 40 minutes, I believe, or maybe a little bit longer, and the edges were too brown to my liking. So, and I had forgotten to put the foil. So that is a little caution to you that you do want to do that. Put the foil on there if you need to. And just a couple of other things about it. This is even a great brunch dish because it's the fruity and custardy. It'd be great for a brunch. And you can also use different fruits. Now, a classic clafouti is with cherries, but you can use plums, you can use strawberries or blueberries, pretty much any fruit that you want to as a variation. It wouldn't be a true clafouti, but in the clafouti style, and it took me forever to master how to say it. For a long time I was saying clafouti, but it's clafouti with a CL. Let's see if there's anything else. It's also good with ice cream on top. You don't have to, but makes it even better with ice cream on top. And I think that serving, you probably would serve, I would say maybe eight people. Okay? I think that's it.
Question, berries instead of cherries?
Yes, you could do blueberries. You could do strawberries. And what else? Blackberries.
Yeah, pretty much.
Boysenberries. Yeah, any other berries.
Any kind of fruit like that. Yeah. Maybe peaches.
I think peaches would be good. And I even saw a recipe for apples.
Oh, okay.
I think probably, I don't know if they would need to be slightly cooked ahead of time.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They take longer to cook.
Yeah.
But any kind of berry works really well. I've made it with mixed berries.
I would say mixed berries would be good too.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious. And it's so easy.
I mean, really.
Yeah, I'm back on it.
Mostly ingredients that you already have. And again, you can use whole milk. You don't have to have half and half. So these are ingredients that you would have on hand most times.
And you can probably use coconut milk, almond milk. If you have a dairy problem, you can probably use other milks too.
That, I did in researching what recipe, because this was one I used many years ago, I think they cautioned about that because of the fat. You needed
need
the fat. Yeah.
You could use coconut cream. So you can get coconut cream in a can.
Yeah.
You could probably use that because that has a higher fat content.
Right, yeah. Something that has a higher fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even, I mean, like skim milk would not work well.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to pause. So I noticed that your mic is a little too close to your throat.
Okay.
So a little distorted in the sound. So hopefully that works better.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's it.
All right. So that's in the oven for about 40
About 40 minutes.
So I'm going to show some stuff and then we'll take a break and then I'll demonstrate tea and then hopefully by then the clafouti is ready to go.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll come back over here so Mom can go monitor comments.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, if you want to get the button. I think it goes up. There you go, to mute. Yeah. Okay. We'll get the microphone thing. I think these are working out better than the one mic that we had on the phone. So we'll get the mute, not mute thing squared away. But yeah, they're working pretty well. And I actually had to turn the volume down in the headphones. So so I apologize for clearing my throat again. Okay, so I'm going to show some of the new stuff and some old stuff just to refresh your memory on what I carry in the shop that's not tea. And I posted about these in the group a little while ago when I listed them in the shop, but I thought I would take the opportunity to show them because they end up looking better live sometimes than my photography, my amateur photography. So I made some new tea clips, and so I wanted to show these to you. First off are these two they're ceramic flowers. And these are tea clips that you attach to your tea bag, tea sack, in your cup or your pot or whatever. So this one, I can't remember. This one's dark blue. This one might be light teal is how I have it named in the shop. And they're just cute pretty little flowers. And then I've got this cute little turtle. I had a hard time photographing him, but he's just a cute little turtle. He's got a smiley face. And so that's that tea clip. I've shown these before. I made these back in the fall. I had a hard time photographing. I finally got good photos of them, but these are acorns made with glass beads and topped with actual acorn tops. And so one is the green with the teal dots and the other is the yellow with the burgundy dots. And I think those are super cute tea clips. And then the last two are actual teapot tea clips, the black and white stripe one with the silver metal teapot stuff, fixture findings. And then the periwinkle blue. This is the tea clip that was in the Mother's Day gift box. Someone asked if I would sell those on their own after Mother's Day. And so I made some of those and they're listed in the shop. And so those are the new tea clips in the tea shop. And they're different price points. Typically the tea clips are $7 or $8 each, but the acorns are a little bit more. And the black and white teapot may be a little bit more. I can't remember off the top of my head. But those are, and I have a bunch more tea clips in the shop as well. And then I got some new tea cozies in. These are the over your pot, and I forgot to bring up teapot. These are the over the pot covers. These will cover a 6 to 8 cup pot, up to a 6 to 8 cup pot. Obviously, you can cover a smaller pot with it. But if you do have a larger pot, these are great for that. But this is cherry blossoms. I think I call it blue cherry blossoms on the website if you're looking for it. And all of the new items are in the new section. So when you're on the website, the left menu, if you're on a computer, if you're on the phone, the menu's at the top. But if there's a new section and all of the new stuff is in there. And these tea cozies are in there. Blue cherry blossom. Pardon me. And then this one is black. I called this Black Mushroom. Very original title. I think this one is really cute with the mushrooms and the butterflies. And again, it covers up to a 6 to 8 cup pot. And so that's the Black Mushroom. And I only have one of those, one each of those. I love this one, the pink, I call it pink paisley. Each side is a little different based on the fabric. It's quilted and it has a little handle. I think this is really beautiful, pink paisley. Again, covers a 6 to 8 cup pot. And I only have one of these. And then this one is the blue, I can't remember what I call it, but you can't miss it when you see it in the shop. It's such a distinctive pattern. I have 2 of these, of the blue quilted, and again, covers this up to a 6 to 8 cup pot. And it's got the same pattern on both sides. And so those are the new tea cozies. And my mom's writing down a question, so I'll pause. For that. Are the cozies from, these are not thistledown. No, these are different, not thistledown. So I do plan to reorder some more from thistledown. But I was looking to diversify what I have, and so, or what I carry and can get for you guys. And so, no, I got these from a different source. So that answers that. Okay, excuse me. Let me pause for water. Real quick. Okay, and then I'll show you some of the other necessities. I've shown these before, but just want to remind you that I do carry non-tea necessities for you guys. One is the Paris teacup infuser. This is great for a mug, and my box looks banged up because this is my demo version, but it's a nice deep tea infuser that you put on your mug, and I don't have a mug, but I'll use the teacup. You put your tea in it, and then you pour your water over it into your mug. Yeah, it's great for daily use. And you can let your tea steep in the infuser, and then you just pull it right out of your mug, and you're good to go. So that's the Paris teacup infuser. It's not the same as a strainer, which is this. I've used this in demos here, but this is a tea strainer. It's got the cute little teapot on the handle, and I had the box, so I've used this for demos. So I think the box probably got thrown away, but I have these available in the shop. The box is white, so if you're looking at the website for the tea strainers, this particular one, the box is white. But then I also have the Empress style tea strainer. This is 2 pieces. This is a little more formal for your tea table. I mean, you can use this on your tea table as well. Both work. But this one has the little cup. So it would sit on the table, and you put this part over your cup, pour your tea from the pot into your cup, and let it strain, and then you can put this in the little drip tray, and keeps your table from getting tea stained. So this is the Empress tea strainer, and I carry this in the shop. Move those out of the way. Oh, is there a question? You can talk.
Well, somebody named Jackie Huntinghake.
Oh, she can't get in?
She can't get in.
Okay, during the break, I'll send her a message.
Okay.
I carry tea timers. So if you want a traditional tea timer on your tea table, this is a good version. It's got 3 different timers for green oolong, black tea, and herbals, and then well, actually, the pink one is for herbals for a longer time. And then the black one in the middle is for black tea. So I do carry the tea timer. And then you've seen the tea sacks. So I always use the tea sack one when we do the tea demos during the live. I also, and these are great for the small mugs. I also carry the 2. I have the 2 in this type. I think I have a few still in this type, but this is the other type that you may see if you order a 2. It's the exact same thing. It's just a different package. This is good for a larger mug and a small pot. It's like 2 to 3 cups in one of these. And then the 3 is for a larger pot, typically. So those are the tea sacks. And then finally, these tea makers, and I've demoed these during Facebook Live too, but I love these tea makers. This is the one that I use when I make tea. It's my favorite. It holds almost 18, or actually a little over 18 ounces of tea. And when I make tea, it's usually for my thermal mug, which holds 20. And this is the Tea for All Reasons thermal mug, available in the shop. Gold with the logo. Although my lid is different, I broke my lid, so that's a replacement lid. But this is great. You pour your tea leaves into the maker, and then you pour your water into it. You close the lid, let it steep. And then when you're ready to decant, you just place this over your mug, and this little plate pops up, and all of that delicious liquid falls into your mug. It has a drip tray, and it works great. And then my husband uses this size all the time. This is the almost 17 ounce. Same idea. Pour your tea in there, put the water in there, let it steep, and then again, it's got the plate that decants into your mug and also has a drip tray. So those are the necessities. Any questions on that? No questions? Okay. That went pretty quick. So we're going to take, I don't know, like a 10-minute break. And while I set up for the tea demonstration, and then I'm going to show all of the teas that I brought, and I have 3, 6, 9. I have 11 teas to show, but I'm going to demonstrate 5. I'm going to brew 5. And they're all cherry teas, and they're fabulous. My mom wrote out a question. Do you carry cold brew teas? I do not. I'm a traditionalist, and I believe that tea should be made with hot water, because the tea that I carry is the traditional tea leaf, and it needs the boiling water or whatever temperature that's appropriate for I lost my train of thought. For that leaf, they need the shock of the hot water to initiate that brew. You're going to get a better brew with hot water. I know that there are some tea companies that they've cut the leaf differently to accommodate cold brew. I don't have that. I'm not carrying cold brew teas. Long answer for a basic no. But so someone asked, on the tea makers, are they the same size? They are not the same size. So the big fat round one is 18.5 fluid ounces. And then this one is 16.9 fluid ounces. So it's about an ounce and a half difference in what they hold. With the tea infuser, how many teaspoons of tea would you put in it? Oh, are you talking about the Paris cup? So for a mug, so a teaspoon of tea is generally for a 5 or 6 ounce cup of tea. One of these. I think this is probably a 6 ounce cup of tea. So 1 teaspoon of tea is going to make enough liquid we call it the liquor, for a traditional teacup. For a mug, your average mug today is anywhere from 8 to 12 ounces. So you're going to need 2. Unless you like stronger tea, then you'll need more. If you like weaker tea, then you can get away with 1. So in your Paris strainer, however much tea you need to make the quantity, the fluid ounces that you want in your mug, is how much you put in your infuser, or your tea sack. So when I do the demonstration here in a traditional teacup, I only do 1 teaspoon of tea. But if I were to do a mug, if I'm going to drink a mug that's a 10-ounce mug, I'm going to do 2. Hopefully that makes sense. What is the raspberry tea shown on the Facebook page earlier today? Did you show a raspberry tea today?
No, I wonder if it's the Independence. Does that have raspberry?
Shown on the, are you talking about in the group? So the question on the raspberry tea on the Facebook page earlier today? I have not shown a tea. So I post pictures with quotes and it will show a tea, but it's not one of my teas.
It was Mindy's post from earlier today.
Oh, raspberry Earl Grey. She brewed raspberry Earl Grey in her beautiful teacup. That's what that was. And that was in the group. Oh my goodness. Are cherry teas sweet teas? It depends. Typically, no. You still need to add sugar if you want it sweetened. They just have the cherry flavor. Some of them do have the cherry fruit in there, but it's not enough to sweeten the tea much. Even the herbals, they're dried fruits, and so they're not necessarily as sweet as the fresh fruit. And so I'm going to say no, they're not sweet. Okay, so for the big, so we got confusion on this. For the 18-ounce tea maker, what I do is 2 heaping teaspoons, and I use the Perfect Cup of Teaspoon, which I didn't show yet. I carry this in the shop. So when I make my mug of tea, just so you know what I do 2 heaping teaspoons, because I like stronger tea, into my maker. And then I pour the water up to about here, where my nail hits. So it's not quite full. And that gets me probably 16 to 17 ounces of tea. I probably should do more tea in there, but that's how it works for me. And depending on the type of tea. So does that make sense? I feel like I've confused people with the maker. I probably should do 3 spoons.
If you're filling it.
If I'm filling it up. I may not fill it up as high as I said. It fits in a 12-ounce mug.
I wouldn't put 3 heaping. I would put
3 level. Probably what I'm getting with my 2 heaping is equal to 3. Yeah. So I'm doing it fast. So I just scoop the tea into the maker. And anyway, so hopefully that clarified all of that confusion. Is there anything else? I answered that. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Where are the tea makers?
They're in the necessities section. So if you go to necessities, or you can search there is a search bar. You can search for tea maker. And you should get to the tea, because they are called tea makers in the at the website. Yeah. So, okay. All right. Any other questions? I'm happy to take as many questions as you have. So, nope. Okay. Then we're going to do our, hold on, let me see my.
And they can keep them coming, and then we'll answer them after.
Yeah, you can keep them coming, and we'll check and get them answered when we come back. So we'll take a 10-minute break, which means, so it's 7:45. So that means that we will come back at about 5 till 8, which is an odd time, but that's just the way it's going to be. And because I think I'm going to need that full time to get set up. She found it? Okay, good. All right, excellent. yeah, so come back. Now's the time for a potty break. Get some water, get some tea. You have time to make tea. You have 10 minutes. And we'll come back and I'll do the tea demonstration. All right? Should we have music? Let me get music. Okay, we're coming back. This is where I wish we had nice smooth segues like post-production television instead of live, but we're live, and I got to put my microphone back on because I took it off to be with the music. So that's the one thing that we have to do different. But anyway, welcome back. So we had a good break. Someone was having a hard time getting into or finding it, so I was able to. I think she actually found it before I was able to get in there and tell her how to find it. But anyway, we're back. So the clafootie's looking fabulous, and I wish you could smell. And I say that all the time. I wish you could smell because it smells really, really good. And then after I opened all the tins, it's smelling. Yeah, my dad's nodding his head.
Somebody asked about it being in the cookbook.
Right, and I said no. Yeah, this particular recipe is not in the cookbook, but we will share the link to the recipe one day this week. My mom will take care of doing that. She's the recipe. Oh, you're still muted, which is fine. Your microphone is still muted. Yeah, you're fine. Yes, when your timer goes, her timer's getting ready to go off so she can check the clafoutie. So she'll take care of that. Okay, so while she's checking that, it'll be fine. You can go ahead and put your comments in and she'll find them. But I'm going to show I have 11 teas to show that have cherry as a main flavor, which is amazing. I knew I had a lot. I didn't realize I had that many. I love cherry, and so that's probably why. And I love cherry tea in particular. And so I hope that this will encourage you to give them a try. So I have 11, pardon me. I'm going to show the 6 that I'm not going to brew, and then I'll show the 5 that I am going to brew. So the first one is an oldie but goodie. This is one that my mom created. It's sweet cherry almond, and it tastes exactly as the name of it, sweet cherry almond. It's such a great blend. Of cherry and almond flavor, and it makes a really lovely cup of tea, and it is a bestseller, and that is sweet cherry almond. It sells itself. I mean, I think the name sells it.
Black tea.
It's a black tea, and it's absolutely delightful. Love it. It is one of my favorites, and I do drink that quite often. The next one is newer. I added it to the shop I think last year, white chocolate cherry. I love white chocolate, and I think the combination of white chocolate and cherry goes really well together. And so this is a black tea, and it is very white chocolate forward. It doesn't have white chocolate in it, believe it or not. It does have cocoa beans and carob pieces, which lends that flavor, but it has a really lovely white chocolate and cherry combination. It has almost a sweetness to it, but it's not sweet. If you add a pinch of sugar, that brings out that sweetness of the flavors. So that's white chocolate cherry. And then glitter and gold. So if you remember, I think it's almost 2 years now, I had to redo the formula of this one because the base tea of this blend that my mom created was discontinued. And so I worked really hard because I knew it was a bestseller and I knew that people loved it. And I think I managed to match what that was pretty well. I've gotten great feedback on it. I love it. So that's glitter and gold. It's a chocolate and cherry, a more traditional like milk or dark chocolate and cherry flavor. Excuse me, sorry. It does have dried cherries in it. Sour cherries are in it, and the sprinkles are the glitter part. Oh my goodness. Look at that. So I'm going to take you off of mute. There you go.
There it is.
That is amazing.
Okay, now I'm going to garnish it with the almonds first, and then I'm going to let it cool a little bit before I do the sugar.
And then we'll cut into it later. Okay, so that was glitter and gold. It's almost Black Forest cake, but it's not quite Black Forest cake. which leads me to Black Forest cake. And I love Black Forest cake. It's my husband's favorite combination of flavors, that chocolate and cherry. And sadly, this one's going to be discontinued when I'm out of my stock, because the base tea for this one was discontinued by my vendor, and I am not able to replicate it. I have looked at how I would be able to do that, and I don't see how I'd be able to do it. And so this one will be discontinued when I run out of stock, and that's Black Forest cake. Fortunately, Glitter and Gold is pretty similar in flavor profile, that chocolate and cherry profile. And so if you like Black Forest cake, I do encourage you to try the Glitter and Gold, because that will be your option once I'm out. Excuse me, I'm going to pause to take a small sip of water. Okay, next up is cherry mocha. And you know, I didn't think about it when we created this one. This is my wedding blend. So when I got married, my mom created this blend of chocolate and cherry, but in a rooibos form instead of black tea, since my wedding was in the evening and we were serving it at the wedding, in addition to it being favors. And someone asked, like, where's the mocha? There's no coffee flavor in this, and it never even occurred to me that mocha actually has a coffee flavor to it. But this does not. It's just cherry and chocolate in rooibos form, and we find it. My husband still drinks it regularly, and it's a great mild. It has a really subtle, mild chocolate and cherry flavor, cherry mocha. And then the last one that I'm going to show and not brew is winter cherry, and I've shown this one before. This is an herbal, and I love it. I drink it all year round, despite the name being winter cherry. I really love it. It's got apple pieces, strawberry leaves, elderflower, cornflower petals, cranberry pieces, and it has ashwagandha root in it. So it's great to drink so ashwagandha root is a relaxing herbal, helps calm you. So if you're feeling anxious, this is good for that, apparently. It's good at nighttime if you're trying to soothe and get ready for bedtime. Apparently, ashwagandha root is really good for that. And so winter cherry is a great herbal for that. All right. So now we're going to get into the 5 that I'm going to brew. And so as I show them, I'm going to go ahead and put them, the tea sacks in the cups and get those ready for water, and then I'll pour water later. So as I have shown in the past, this is a tea sack 1, and when they come out of the box, they are crimped 2 together. And you find the bottom of one, and then you'll find the top, and then just pull them apart. It's magical. And and I demonstrate this every time, but I kind of put my thumb in the sack to start it opening, and then I use my perfect cup of teaspoon to finish getting that open. I get it open all the way before I start trying to put tea into it, so I don't spill any of my precious tea. So the first one I'm going to show is Cherry Mist. Of the cherry teas that I carry, this is one that I have in my travel kit. I take this one with me when I travel. It's great. It's a nice black tea. It's got fabulous flavors of cherry and apple, a little hint of apple. It's cherry forward. And I love it. I find it's great mid-morning. For a little bit of a caffeine boost when I'm traveling. I seem to need more caffeine when I'm traveling. So I put the spoon in the sack, and then I turn it to empty it into the sack. I've shown that. And there is your tea ready to be brewed. Put that in the cup. Okay, so that was Cherry Mist. Okay, the next one is an oolong. This is ornamental cherry. It's oolong tea. It's got rose petals in it and cherry flavor. It's a really nice oolong tea. If you like oolong, then you will like this one for sure. I love to watch oolong leaves unfurl in the water when it hits because they're all rolled up and they get really big. And when it's fun, I love it. So anyway, so I'm going to brew this one. And again, I found the bottom of one tea sack, and then here's the top of the other one, and I just pull them apart. Open my tea sack. The bummer about doing this in a tea sack is you won't be able to see the oolong after it's been brewed. So I'm going to get a spoon of the ornamental cherry, put that in the tea sack, and then in the cup it goes. Okay, the next one is rooibos. This is cherry rose, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's cherry flavor rooibos with rose petals in it. And this is a popular one. Rooibos is great, naturally decaffeinated, so it's technically an herbal. And so it's great any time of the day. And very popular, the cherry and the rose. Rose is not my favorite, so this isn't one that I drink because I am not a fan of rose in my tea. But when it's a heavily rose flavor. So the ornamental cherry has a little bit of rose, but it's not an overpowering rose flavor. It's very subtle. So anyway, the cherry rose and the rooibos is going into the tea sack. I'm going to fold that up, stick it in the cup. Cherry rose. Okay, so these other two are new. They're herbals. And one of them was beta tasted a couple months ago. The other one I just got in, and I'm very excited about these because they're fabulous. Both have hibiscus in them, so they're going to be pink, most likely in the cup, because that hibiscus gives it a nice pink color. So the first one is called Sweet and Sour Cherry, and this one has hibiscus, almond, apple pieces, cardamom seeds, beetroot, rose petals, freeze-dried sour cherries, and pomegranate arils. So like the main part of the pomegranate, they've been dried and they're in here in the sweet and sour cherry. And you can see, I'll show you again, it's big, chunky herbal. So with an herbal, I tend to scoop out a little bit more than what the spoon can give you because they are big and chunky, although this one's doing pretty well. But I'll do it as a heaping spoon because it's big and chunky. And you can also steep an herbal longer. It's more forgiving. So with a tea, an actual tea, you don't want to over steep or it gets bitter. With an herbal, you can let it steep. Typically 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the herbal. Okay, and then the next one is crushed cherry colada. Crushed cherry colada. And this one is fabulous. It's pineapple, apple, hibiscus, rose hips, orange, coconut, and freeze-dried sour cherries. And I love this one. I've been drinking, and I absolutely love it. It's hard to describe the flavor. I'm going to put a little bit more in there, but it makes a really great cup of tea. They're great hot, but these two herbals in particular would be great over ice as well in the summer. Nice and refreshing, fruity cherry flavor. That's going to be nice with ice in it. So that's crushed cherry colada. All right, so I'm going to grab I'm going to do the herbals first because they steep longer. Move my stuff out of the way. All right, so I'm going to put the water in the crushed cherry colada first. Okay, don't go in there. And then this is the sweet and sour cherry. You can already see the pink coming out there. And then this is the rooibos, also herbal, cherry rose. And then I'm going to come over to the black. The black steeps for 3 minutes. This is the cherry mist. And then the oolong steeps for 2. You can give it 3. All right, so we'll let those steep. And if we have any questions, now is the time. No questions. So we're just waiting.
No questions.
No questions. All right. I don't know how to pad. This is, I know we got to pad the time.
Well, we'll go back over to the
We can,
to the clafouti.
yeah, well, so we really only need a couple minutes, and then I can do the oolong and the black. You know what I forgot was the discard bowl.
Okay.
And squeezer.
All right. So
Okay, well, hold on.
Okay.
So one last thing that I carry in the shop, and I show this every time, is the tea bag squeezer. Ours gets a daily workout. Yours does too, right? This is my dad's. It's great for making sure you get every delicious drop out of your tea bag or tea sack. And so I carry this in the shop.
And then drip on the way to the trash.
And it doesn't drip on the, that's right. It does not drip on the way to the trash can because you've gotten every bit of tea out of that bag. So we're at 2 minutes on the oolong. I might give that another, yeah, I'll give that another minute. The cherry mist could use a little more time. So we'll let the oolong steep for another 30, maybe. Because, yeah, you had started the time when I poured that one. Yeah, okay. All right, then we're waiting just a little bit longer. So your oolong tea is going to be lighter in color than black tea, lighter even than a green tea, because it is half fermented. It's kind of in between black tea and green tea is how I think of it.
You can see how the leaves have expanded.
Yeah. So we can show that. So you can see in the tea sack that the leaves have expanded significantly. And actually, I'm going to squeeze this, and then I'll go ahead and break it open, so you can see. So you can see the beautiful color of the tea itself. It's got a nice yellowish color, but it's a little different than a green tea. And then I'm going to break this open so you can see what these leaves look like, because they really are quite big. I'll dump it out in the bowl. So if you were to make this in an infuser or one of those tea makers, this is what you'll see in your infuser. This is what the oolong looks like once they've steeped in the water. They grow from the small little furls to the leaf. You can see the actual leaf here is unfurled in that water, and it gives you a fabulous tea product. White tea, someone asked white tea. Let me get this off of here before I do that. All right, I'll talk about white tea while I squeeze this one. This is the Cherry Mist Black. White tea are the leaves that are picked first from the top of the tea plant, the Camellia sinensis plant. They're not fermented. They're fresh right off of the tea bush, and they are air dried, right? Air dried. Where green tea they're dried over heat. The green tea leaves are dried over heat. White tea is air dried, basically. And so it's the freshest tea. It's the newest tea. It's not new. It is new, but
Youngest.
Thank you. That's what I was trying. Could not come up with the word. Yes, it's the youngest tea leaf. Okay, so this is the Cherry Rose Rooibos. And that looks lovely. A nice red color as opposed to the black tea. I'll bring it around. So the black tea looks more amber, and this has a more red hue to it, or orangey. That's how you can tell a Rooibos tea. And I can smell that one. I can smell the rose. So that's the Cherry Rose. And then the Sweet and Sour Cherry, as I said, was going to be pink in the cup because of the hibiscus. And the same is true for the Crushed Cherry Colada. Both of them are pink. And so I'm going to go ahead and squeeze that. Because that's been about 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes on these. So this is the Sweet and Sour Cherry in this cup. And then this one is the Crushed Cherry Colada, which is a little darker than the Sweet and Sour Cherry. Okay, so there we go. You've got black tea, oolong, rooibos, and then the 2 herbals. And there are our teas. All cherry flavored.
Can't wait to try some of them.
Well,
especially those new ones.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy them.
I know I will.
Yeah, they're good, and you get to enjoy all 5.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Yep. Okay. So Mom, are you going to are you going to bring it over here, or do you want him to come over to you?
Whichever. I can bring it over there.
Okay. I'll grab the cutting utensils. I'm behind you.
Okay.
You already did the sugar.
I did the sugar. Yeah.
I'll take this back.
All right. And you can see that the difference now that it has been sitting for a while, it kind of raised up and now it's dropped, which is perfectly normal. And it has also separated nicely from the edge, which makes it a lot easier to cut and get it out of the pan.
Out, yeah.
So thank you.
You're not going to be fighting with it.
Right.
Looks fabulous.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. And it's just, it's not like a cake at all. Mm-mm. It's just custardy and lovely. And the first piece is always the hardest. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to get under there. Separate that. Okay, come on out. Nope, not fully cut yet. There we go.
There you go.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, your cherry was stuck in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Look how beautiful.
Okay, you can see how it's just nice custard there. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to have a bite.
Yeah, that looks.
I wish you could have a bite. Oh, he wants me. No, I'm not going to eat in front of you. But do try this. It's just so easy, as you can see. Okay, go ahead. It's so easy and delicious for breakfast or dessert or an evening snack.
It's delicious.
Oh,
yeah.
So
it is custardy. So it's an interesting texture. It's not cakey at all.
No.
And it's not even like, it's not like the flavor, not flavor, but the texture's not like a flan or a custard. It's more substantial than that.
Yeah.
It's got, it's hard to explain, but it's really good.
And those cherries are just wonderful and big.
Someone asked where the recipe is. We will post the link to the recipe that we used that she
on
used
Monday
tonight. She'll post that on Monday at Food for All Reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. It's a substantial bite. It's not it's not like a custard. It's not like a cheesecake. But it is custardy. It's hard to explain. It's not like a pancake because it's not cakey.
No, it's 100% delish.
It is so good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's light. It's not. It's not a heavy.
No,
it's not a heavy dessert either. Very good.
Okay. And do beware that once it's cooled down and you're done cutting into it, you need to refrigerate it because it is egg and it'll spoil. So you have to refrigerate it. And I wouldn't keep it in the fridge more than a couple of days.
Yeah, you want to eat it in a couple of days.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to last.
And the name of it is?
Cherry clafoutis.
Clafoutis. It's en français.
En français. Clafoutis.
Clafoutis. Yep.
Okay.
That's what it is.
I want to hear about some of you trying it.
Yeah.
And even with other berries. So.
Yeah. I've done one, like I said, with mixed berries, like blackberries and raspberries, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. It doesn't, I did my research, and they don't recommend using the sour cherries because you would need to use a lot more sugar. And
because the cherries are too sour.
So the sweet cherries, the black cherries, or even the Rainier, the Rainier would be good.
Yeah. I was going to get Rainier, but they're not out yet.
Okay.
Rainier cherries are the best cherries.
They are wonderful.
Hands down, the best cherries.
But they wouldn't have the same impact color-wise in this.
And I don't care. They're the best cherries.
They are the
hands
best.
down.
I agree. I love them too.
If you don't have Rainier cherries, I'm sad for you because yeah. Oh,
I know.
I could eat them by the bushel.
Yeah.
So okay.
All right, folks.
All right. Okay. Well, we're not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So,
But wait, there's more.
But there's more.
There is more. So, all right. If you wouldn't mind, I'll do the announcement about my upcoming project.
Yeah, and I have an announcement too.
And then, what do you want to do your announcement first?
Well, mine's just really quick. Thursday is Flag Day, and 4th of July is coming. And I just wanted to let you know that on Thursday, I'm going to be featuring some red, white, and blue things.
Ooh, okay.
On Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
T for All Reasons.
At the page.
At the page.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the page. Where you are right now. At the page. Right.
Yes.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind preparing for this.
Yes.
Yes. But I'll do my next announcement, and then we'll do giveaways coming. And so that's why she's going over, so she can type the keyword in when I say what the keyword is. But before I do that, in happier news, so at the beginning I gave you the bad news, and now I'm going to give you some happier news. If you're in the group, you already know. I've been working on the idea of offering tea bags. And the problem is I can't offer tea bags for all of my teas because I'm just one person. I'm not a big tea company. Although I try to look like I'm a big tea company, I try to look professional, but it is just me. And so if I'm offering tea bags, that means that I am filling the tea bags, each one of the little tea bags, and sealing them up and packaging and all of that. So, but I know that tea bags are a popular thing. They're great for travel. They're great for convenience. And so I'm exploring the idea of offering I'm calling them sachets. So I've been working on that for the past couple of months, and I think I've nailed it down. And so I have a target of launching 3 of our blends as in a tea bag. And the target is August. And I'm only going to offer 3 of our teas in tea bag form to start. And if the true test for me on if I can do this well is when we get into the fall and the holidays and things are insane. Can I put tins of tea bags together for you? So that's why I'm starting with 3 to start. So, like I said, my target launch for the tea bag offering is August. The plan is it's going to be a tin with 20 tea sachets in the tin. And it totals about 3.4 ounces. of total tea in the bags. Each bag has, the weight will be listed on the thing, but each bag has about 1 teaspoon of tea in it. So just be aware of that. And the 3 blends that I'm going to offer to start are the house blend, our Tea for All Reasons house blend, Dowager Countess Grey, which is my #1 bestseller of all of the teas. Dowager Countess Grey always is at the top of the list every year of most sold. And Lemon Souffle Rooibos. I wanted to offer a Rooibos option. So 2 are black teas and then 1 Rooibos. And so those are the 3 teas that I'm going to offer in tea bags to start. And if I'm able to accommodate more, then I'll add more. I will never offer tea bags for all of the teas. I can't do it. As long as I'm working a full-time job and this is my side business, and because it's just me, I just can't do that. But I do hope to expand the tea bag offerings if these go well. So when I do launch and you decide to purchase, I welcome your feedback on them and how the bags work and the tins and the whole kit and caboodle. Anyway, so that's coming, and I'm excited about it. A little nervous about the time, but I am excited to offer this new option for you. You all right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So giveaway time. So that's it on the tea bags. And if you have any questions, you can always email me or you can send me a message through the group or whatever. If you're in the group, if you're not in the group, come join the group. We've got over 800 people in the group. Not everybody's active all the time, but we've got a pretty good group of people who are regularly active in the group. And I appreciate everyone who does participate in the group. And so come on and join us. But for the giveaway, so I'm giving away a 2-ounce bag of crushed cherry colada, which was one of the herbals that I did the demonstration of. And so you'll get this exact bag. I did remember to bring it this time. Last time I forgot. And so you'll get this exact bag of tea. And the keyword is cherries. And if you've been around long enough, you probably could have figured that out. But the keyword is cherries. So put a comment in here just one time with cherries as the keyword to enter the drawing. Molly and I will draw a name out of the Tea for All Reasons mug that we use for our drawings. I'll grab all of the names after church tomorrow, and we'll do that drawing in the afternoon. And someone will get this fabulous bag of tea sent out to them this week. I think that's it. Okay, so our next Facebook Live, you want to come over? Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's on. Yeah. So our next Facebook Live is July the 13th, and I already created the event on the page. I posted that this morning, and so find that and mark it as interested or going. And I'll try to remember to actually launch the live. Are you going to put that up there? In the event. I think I made the mistake of not launching the live video in the event tonight, and that's why people had a hard time finding it. So okay. I apologize. I'll try to remember next time. But July 13th, and we're going to do summer berries. Summer fruit.
Summer fruit.
Well, we'll include
summer fruit.
Non-berry fruit.
We haven't decided what to do yet.
No, but there's so many different good options.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about it today. Like, what could we do?
Yeah.
Well, we'll figure it out. It'll be good.
Maybe even a couple of things. We'll see.
Yeah. Sorry, you got me.
We'll even take
suggestions
maybe. Something that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be able to do it this time, but
maybe in the future.
Yeah, but suggestions.
Yeah, if you've got a suggestion, if you have a recipe for something berry or summer fruit that you would like for us to demonstrate, we send it, we'll test it, and we'll maybe do it.
That's kind of a cool idea. The only limitation is bake time.
Right.
So for instance, we have talked about doing like a pound cake, but that takes an hour. So it has to be something that would be 45 minutes or less,
yes,
probably.
Because we've even talked about doing a pavlova, but a pavlova is overnight.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out maybe how we could do a pavlova.
I mean, we could have a finished pavlova to show.
We could show how to make the meringue.
Yeah.
And then, and then have a finished pavlova.
Hang on to that thought maybe for during the holidays, because that was when
that's when
But anyway, we're kind of open, and we're not really afraid of.
We'll try new things.
We'll try new things. Yeah.
So if you have a great summer berry or summer fruit recipe that you would like to get out there, feel free to share it.
Trifle.
Yeah.
Or truffle.
Truffle.
Well, they suggested both, trifle and truffle.
Well, okay. Truffle would be...
Trifle, yes.
We've done trifles.
Yeah, we've done trifles.
Yeah,
we had the overflowing trifle that
we
time.
did have the overflowing. Yeah, but it was delicious.
It was delicious, yeah. But the trifle's a good idea. That's a great idea.
I'm so sorry about the cough. It's so obnoxious.
So, yeah, send us maybe in the group.
In the group.
Send your suggestions.
Yeah, send your suggestions. Just throw a post out there.
Yeah.
And maybe tomorrow I'll create a post and I can pin it, and that way you can find it. Where in the comments you can add, how about I do that?
Okay.
When we go off of the live, I will go into the group immediately and I'll create a post for recipe suggestions, because I got my laptop right there.
Yeah.
For recipe suggestions, throw your suggestion in the comments and we will.
Yeah, and it can be something that you have not made yourself, that you would like to know how to make it, or something that you have made that you'd like for us to demonstrate.
Right.
So,
and so we'll
Somebody
maybe
asked
pick something.
about cherry scones.
Yes.
Any scones.
Any scones. So my recommendation on scones is be very careful when you're adding fruit.
Fresh fruit, yeah.
Because that extra moisture can affect how the scone cooks.
Yeah.
So use a dried fruit. A dried fruit's always going to work well.
Yeah.
So if you find dried cherries, they'll work.
It is possible, but what I recommend is when you're using fresh fruit, consider using that for a breakfast scone, something that would be the triangle that you would eat with a fork.
Right.
If it's a round scone that you plan to serve at afternoon tea, you don't want it too messy, because then it gets on their hands and then they don't want to use your nice linen napkin. So that's why we preferred the dried fruits for afternoon tea. But a breakfast scone, I mean, I've made strawberry mascarpone scones before, which are really good. But maybe like a peach pecan, something like that.
Yeah, really good.
Okay, so we need your suggestions.
Yes, so
we'd love that.
And and it could be that we take any of those suggestions and use in the future too.
Sure.
Like we'll take the list of recipes and keep them, because we're always looking for ideas for our lives.
We are, and we love cooking and baking.
That's true. Okay, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And we will see you July 13th for our next live.
And if not before, I mean, we hope to see you on the page on Monday for another Blue Monday,
and in the group.
And
thank you very much for your support and for joining us tonight, and for hanging with us during our
sound issues,
sound check at the beginning. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, folks.
Have a good night.
Good night.